I'm Rick Aaron. Thank you for being with us tonight. Exactly 24 hours after Provo police officer Joseph Shinners was shot and killed while attempting to apprehend a suspect last night in Orem. Here is what happened. At 9:53 p.m. Saturday, officers from the Orem and Provo police departments responded to a report of a wanted fugitive in the parking lot of the Bed Bath & Beyond at 50 West University Parkway. Provo's police chief said the 40-year-old male suspect had previously threatened to kill police. 7 minutes later, officers approached the suspect's vehicle and shots are fired. Officer Shinners and the suspect are both wounded. Approximately 10 minutes later, Officer Shinners is transported to Utah Valley Hospital for treatment. Then at 11:30 p.m., Provo police confirmed to ABC4 News that Officer Shinners had died at the hospital. Finally, at 3 a.m., a procession transports Officer Shinners' body from Utah Valley Hospital to the state medical examiner's office. Now, that shooting incident did happen in Orem, as we mentioned, but tonight, fellow officers, family members, and friends have set up Officer Shinners' patrol car as a memorial at the Provo police station. That's where we have our live team coverage tonight with Glenn Mills and Rosie Nguyen. We start with Glenn, who has more information about the life of Officer Shinners. Glenn?
Yeah, Rick, here at the Provo Police Department, as you mentioned, Officer Shinners' patrol car, the American flag, blue ribbons, balloons, flowers, all serving as a memorial to this tragic end. Throughout the night, we have seen community members and co-workers come here to mourn together and to reflect. Officer Shinners being remembered today as an example of sacrifice and service. His willingness to answer the call leading to the ultimate sacrifice as he lays down his life for the community he served. Provo City leaders stand side by side and hold back tears as they mourn the loss of Officer Joseph Shinners.
He was the very best of the Provo Police Department.
The 29-year-old was a 3-year veteran of the Provo Police Department, assigned to the patrol division. He also served on the SWAT team. He leaves behind a wife and a 1-year-old son.
Mostly, I just want Kaylin to know that right now, the citizens of Provo stand with you. To all your family on both your side and Joe's side, I'm so terribly, terribly sorry.
Officer Shinners is originally from Boston, Massachusetts, where his brother is currently a police officer. His father was a firefighter. So public service is in his DNA. Chief Richard Ferguson says Shinners was the type of officer who would give a suspect a hug after making an arrest. A presence that will be deeply missed as a fallen brother, a hero, gives his all.
Joe Shinners was intelligent. He was honorable. He was hardworking. He was decent in every single way, and he exemplified the nobility of policing.
Chief Ferguson also announcing today that he is giving Officer Shinners a posthumous promotion to the rank of Master Officer. He says he earned that through his service and sacrifice to the department. This investigation in its very early stages now being handled by the Orem Police Department. Still a lot of unanswered questions tonight, but they are shedding some light on exactly what happened and the suspect. ABC4's Rosie Nguyen covering that angle for us tonight. And Rosie, this isn't the first time police have come in contact with this suspect.
That's right, Glenn. Investigators say this suspect is a person who has been on police's radar for quite some time. This man is a person who has made violent threats against police. They called the suspect a violent fugitive, which is why they wanted him in custody as soon as possible. Officers from both the Provo and Orem police departments visibly devastated from losing one of their fellow brothers in blue. Investigators keeping information about the suspect involved in Saturday night shooting to a minimum so that the focus on Sunday could be about fallen Officer Joseph Shinners.
I will not be releasing the name of the suspect today. This is not about him today. This is about Officer Shinners and his family, as well as all of the police officers, paramedics, and dispatchers who were involved in the situation last night.
Chief Gary Giles says there are still many questions that remain in the investigation. Orem Police Department will handle the criminal side of the investigation as the shooting took place in their jurisdiction.
Political boundaries of a city do not take away the hurt, the pain, nor does it take away or make any difference. The patch we wear on our shoulders is not what defines the police officers.
This is what we know. The suspect is a 40-year-old man who is known to be homeless and occasionally stays with friends in the Provo-Orem area. He possibly had multiple warrants out for his arrest, leading police to pursue him as quickly and tactfully as possible. Officials say preliminary investigation leads them to believe it was the suspect who fired the shot that hit and killed Officer Shinners. He returned fire and hit the suspect at least once before being transported to the hospital where he later died.
I just want to say that when a police officer is killed in the line of duty, especially when it's at the hand of evil, it's not just family or a profession who loses someone that they love. It's a piece of our society.
Now, Rosie, we know the suspect was taken to the hospital. What do we know about his condition tonight?
At last check, investigators told us that the suspect is still alive. He was described as being in stable condition, and he is currently being guarded at the hospital.
So obviously we've talked about how he is known to police. He's facing charges already, but this is a very serious crime. What new charges is he facing for his alleged role in this?
Right, he faces multiple charges. One possible charge that he will face is the aggravated murder of a police officer, something very serious.
Yeah, definitely. Much more to come on this. We will learn a lot more about the suspect and Officer Shinners as well. Rosie, thanks for your report tonight. We appreciate it. Now, this tragic loss marks the 130th death in the line of duty for a Utah officer. And January tends to be one of the most dangerous months. Of those 130, 15 have taken place in January. And of those 15, 6 have happened on the very same day as this tragedy, January 5th. Officer Jared Frankham of the Ogden Police Department died on January 5th, 2012. Deputy Josie Fox of the Millard County Sheriff's Office in 2010. Lieutenant James Merrill of the Cache County Sheriff's Office passed away in 1974. Moab Police Officer August Larson in 1961. And in 1951, Sergeant Thomas Stroud of the Salt Lake City Police Department lost his life. Now, 5 of those 6 deaths on January 5th were due to gunshot wounds. Officer Shinners is the 4th officer from the Provo Police Department to die in the line of duty. The last one happening back in 1995. Now, Utah Governor Gary Herbert weighing in on this situation tonight. He's sending his condolences to Officer Shinners' family. In a statement that he sent out, he says this: "I was deeply saddened to hear of the death of Officer Shinners. It is devastating to mourn yet another among our brave and selfless public figures, and my heart aches for Joseph's wife and his young son. We owe an enormous debt to the men and women in uniform who work to protect our communities, and I pray that God will bless this dear family with peace during this very difficult time." This tragedy has no doubt shaken our community to the core, and we are committed to covering this story and bringing you the very latest developments as they become available. Even when we're not on air, you can always find this online or at abc4.com, also on social media. Just log on and search ABC4 News on both Facebook and Twitter. Reporting live in Provo, Glenn Mills, ABC4 News.
All right. Thank you very much, Glenn, and thank you, Rosie, as well. Well, the other big